Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as The Seattle Stitcher. You can email me at theseattlestitcher@gmail.com. And if you're interested, you can find me on Ravelry as Mama Made VM. And as I say, you are all very, very welcome here. So if you didn't catch that, yes, I did change my username on Instagram. It is finally just The Seattle Stitcher. For the longest time, I had it as my first and last name, which is Megan Babauta, but I did decide to just go ahead and make the change because I think that my last name is one that's kind of hard to spell, and I know it's hard to pronounce as well. So I figured I will just go ahead and across the board, make everything The Seattle Stitcher. Ravelry is the only thing that I still have as a different username, but I'll probably be changing that as well. I just haven't yet. So anyways, you guys know the drill. I just like to hop right in and start with my starts, but I don't actually know if I have any new starts since the last time I filmed. I honestly can't remember. So I'm just gonna pull from my little bin that I usually do. I have one extra week in between my filming sessions this past time because I did put out a kit review video. And so because of that, I have a little bit more progress than what I typically do. So the first project that I have, it's just actually the last thing that I worked on. This is Teresa Kogut's Remember Me. I absolutely love this pattern. Honestly, I might switch over to her Patreon because I love a lot of her patterns and I love a lot of her seasonal pieces as well. So I might join her Patreon. I might. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. This one I have all the called for except for two of them are a fancy floss. I think it's the greens or a couple of shades of the greens. I decided to go ahead and just not pull those because I didn't want to. I already had all the DMCs and so I figured why not just use the DMC. And I do have one of the called for, which is Used Brick by Classic Colorworks. So everything else is the DMCs. You can see it's a beautiful soft palette. I think it's one of those like kind of fall but also spring palettes somehow. Like it really pulls for both in my opinion. But I love this color like theory here, this color story. I think it's gorgeous. And I'm stitching this 2/2 on 32 count Jackson Fabric Arts. London Fog is the color of the name of this color. I think I have a picture of where I left off. Not the best photo, but I'll pop that on the screen. And here is where, I guess I could fold this in half because I only have a half of the quadrant done here, but here's where I got to. So I am absolutely loving this. Something about working on this fabric is so just so enjoyable for me. So I went up here and I started filling in some of the larger flowers. So I started filling in this one. I did a live video with Beck Stitches Everything and the Thread Gremlins. We met up at Amy's place and I was able to fill in both of these at her house. And then that night I went in here, added this bit of border, and then also added some of the words because I really want to work my way down to that house. I think it's just going to look fabulous and I love this fabric. Love this fabric. Highly recommend. 2/2 stitching on it is just a dream. And look at this color. Isn't that just like the most beautiful sky? Like the blue in it is amazing. And when you get it in person, these brown splotches you're seeing, they're actually more pink hued, kind of like a sailor's sky. I don't know how to describe it. It's just absolutely lovely. So yeah, this is the bottom of the pattern. So you can see I've worked my way all the way down and I've got up into the corner, but I decided to pull this one out so I could get some more fill in of those bits and pieces and kind of work my way to the center. So I'm really happy with this progress. I know it's not a crazy amount, but I just think it's looking so good. I worked on this in a Q snap and my husband actually gifted me a stand just as a surprise. He's not very good with the surprises though. As soon as he bought it, he told me about it. And yeah, anywho, I've been absolutely loving working on this and really enjoying my stand working on this in the stand. So yeah, it's so pretty. I just wanted to give you an overview of all of it. You can see I kind of just did like partials of all of these because I wanted to work my way down so that I could kind of go across. And I really like that. I think it worked so far. I'm going to cut off this excess fabric at the bottom because I think I could fit a couple of smalls on that. And it'll be really cute for a little, like I'm thinking a small that's like a little house or something of that sort. Because this backdrop to me is very like skyline. So I love it. Absolutely love it. And that is that one. I had everything in the bag because I brought this one to work with me, but of course didn't end up stitching on it at all. Oh, I do have one start that I started, but it's actually a secret stitch that I'm doing because the girls and I are going to do like a Galentine's swap. And so because of that, I started my project right away. I couldn't help it. So I did start that. I think once I have like percentage points, I'll talk about it in every video that I stitched on it in the previous 2 weeks, but I'll just give you a percentage. So I don't have that just yet, but I do have that in my bucket because I did start a new little project. The next thing I started, or I shouldn't say started, the next thing I worked on was the Magic Needle kit. This is called Lilac. Watch out because Magic Needle does have 2 lilac kits. So if you're interested in this one is just called Lilac. It's a little bit cheaper than the other one as well because there's no background here. But I actually like the no background. The only downside is that this is like a 14 count Aida. So the stitches, not that they're super blocky. I mean, they are in a way, I suppose. But once it's back and hung up on a wall, you're not going to notice. But you are going to see all those Aida holes in the background. So what I think I'm going to do is before I frame it, put a white piece of like cotton or something behind it so that there's not like a dark pulling through and really like emphasizing the holes that are left open. Because obviously all of this is full coverage, but yeah, this kit I'm absolutely loving. I love that the cover photos are the actual cross stitch pieces and it just looks stunning. So I'm really enjoying Magic Needle. It's probably my favorite, one of my favorite brands of kits. If you watched my kit review video, then you know that. And I think I have a picture of where I left off, so I'll pop that on the screen. And here is where I got to. It's so hard with this one because it just looks like a blob, you know, because it really is. It's a bunch of blobs of purple, but I added pretty much all of this down here. So I went to work on to another bundle of lilac because you can kind of start to see like this is a bundle of lilac and you're moving on over to another one over here and another one up over here. But I think it's gonna be gorgeous once it's finished. It just doesn't look like anything while you're stitching on it. And honestly, that is very, I don't want to say discouraging, but I guess maybe that is the word. It gets boring, you know, because usually when you work on a full coverage style piece, it looks like nothing. And then when you pull away, you're like, oh my goodness, it actually looks like something. Not in this case. And it's a little bit of confetti, not bad though. So yeah, I love the way my stitches look with the floss that comes in these kits. I think they look so good. 2/1 on the 14 count Aida is the called for in the kit. And I just follow whatever they tell me to do is what I do, and I absolutely love it. And you get these floss card situation, which I actually really like. I know they're just a thin cardboard, but they work really well, very manageable. The length of the thread is not too long as well. So I really like these and I'm really enjoying working on that one. So I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna be stitching on kits that are looking like this style, just because I am really in the mood for fall. I really am. I want it to be fall so bad. And this to me feels very spring, summer. It's gorgeous, but yeah, I'm not sure how much more progress I'll get on it, but I think if I continue watching Red Stitchery Katie, I will probably continue to feel encouraged to work on these. I actually started this kit with her. I'm not sure if she started hers yet or not. I think maybe, I'm not sure. She ended up ordering separate fabric because same issue for her is like when you have all that blank space in the background, you can start to see the holes in the Aida. So she, I think, replaced hers with a even weave or a Lugana of some sort. So yeah, there is that one. The next thing I worked on is actually another Magic Needle kit. This one is probably my favorite of the two because I just love the colors. It's so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. And it looks even better stitched up. Like, I love that Magic Needle has actual cover photos. Like, the preview here is a fully stitched piece, and you can tell. You can see all the magic knots in it. You can see the back stitching, magic knots, the magic loops. Is that what they're called? Magic loop is knitting. French knots. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. I'm getting my crafts mixed up. But I think I have a picture of where I was last time with this. This is also a 14 count Aida project, and I'm stitching it 2/1 on the Aida, which is the called for. Like I said, I just do what the kit tells me to do. This one is on a nice light blue Aida, which I do like. And here is where I got to. So if you watched my kit video, you already saw this, but I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. So here is where I got to. Isn't it looking so good? So I got this Bumblebee in, I want to say. And I think I went down here and started working into this flower, which, oh my goodness, are they stunning. The colors in it are just gorgeous. I just really, really enjoy this. I think it looks really pretty too. Again, far back when you're looking at it, I don't think you see like the blocks of Ada, even though I know 14 count is a little bit larger. I think it looks great. So goes to show it really doesn't look bad at all. I think that it's just like, it's hard to not get stuck in the same loop of like, you know, you watch Flosstubes and you watch people who you really like idolize and enjoy, and it can get to that sense of like, oh my gosh, I want my stuff to look as nice as that. And so I think I need to get 36 count or 40 count or 46 count. And there's just nothing wrong with good old 14 count Ada. And this looks amazing. I absolutely love it. I did do the backstitching on this bee. I'd done that previously though, so you guys have already seen it, but I loved the little backstitching so much. It really adds to the bee. It just looks so good. The little hairs and everything, it's adorable. Absolutely adorable. So yeah, excited to get some more backstitching in on this one, honestly, because it looks so good, but also just excited to work my way up to get to those robins. Did I mention that? Those are robins in this pattern, and it's called Singing Robins by Magic Needle. You can get both of these kits from My Bobbin. I will say the Magic Needle stuff seems like it goes on sale frequently enough to where if you're willing to wait, I would just wait to catch it on sale. But yeah, I really, really like this kit. I like it a lot. I think it's very pretty, and it's gonna be gorgeous with, you know, with that lilac one, I think hung together. That'll be really pretty. Just a nice little springtime, like I can put it up in my hallway kind of thing. Not really sure where I'm gonna hang things that look like that, to be honest, because I do think that I like samplers, Quakers, like reproduction stuff a little bit more. That's more my style. But I realized like it's okay to just stitch things to enjoy them, and I really enjoy working on kits like that. I really do. The 14 count Ada is such a joy. Like it's so easy to see for me, and I really enjoy it. From there, the next thing I stitched on, I did do a live video where I started this, so you might have caught that, but this is an Andreana kit. And this kit I got off of My Bobbin as well. So I'll link My Bobbin down below. It's a website. They have like flat rate US shipping for $5 and some change. I'm not sure if that's across the board to other countries, but I know that they do have a flat rate for the United States. So let me know if you happen to live outside of the US and you've ordered from My Bobbin and you know what the shipping is, because I'm not sure. So I did start this kit, and I have already changed the Ada on this. I swapped it over to an 18 count Swigart Ada that I had in stash. I just cut it down to the same size. I'm using the called for flosses, which are the ones that come in the kit, of course, stitching it 2/1, and here is my progress on this one. I think this actually might have been a new start since my last Flosstube video, but I did start it in a video because I started it during a live video that I did, I want to say the beginning of this month, actually. I'm pretty sure, so about 2 weeks ago now. But yeah, I just started in the very center. I tend to do a center start for a lot of these kits, pretty much all of them, honestly, because I want to make sure that I have enough margin and I'm able to, you know, frame them properly and everything. And I'm worried that if I try to count my own margin, that I'm going to end up being too close on the other side sort of situation. So yeah, I just love this. That's the little shop window. There's going to be an open sign or a closed sign, whatever I decide to backstitch over it right there. And I think it's looking really good. I love the colors, and I do think my stitches look okay. I don't like this floss at all. I really don't recommend these kits, to be honest. It's the flosses, and honestly the fabric as well. I actually threw away the fabric that came in the kit because it was so stiff, and there was like no softening. It was so stiff and uncomfortable to work with. And on top of it being so stiff, the flosses are really dry, just very, very dry feeling and not enjoyable to stitch with. Even just like the feeling of them in your hand, I don't enjoy. And so I'm not sure how far I'm gonna get on this project. I'm not sure if I should just go to my Michaels or Joann's and try to color match all of these to DMCs so that I can at least stitch the pattern myself. But it feels so silly to spend like 30 bucks on a pattern and then when you get it, not even use any of the stuff that comes in it, you know, because it's a kit. So I don't know. I'm just not sure about this one. I still have it in my 7-inch Morgan hoop though, in the hopes that I will pull this back out at some point over the next couple weeks, but honestly, I'll probably put this one away for a little while. Although it is a nice fall Halloween piece because it is a really fun pattern. See what I mean? That is so just Halloween. It's so fall. It's a little magic shop. I love the witches' cauldrons, and I love the owls and the cats, and I just love everything about it. I think it's so cute. I love the garlic, you know, and all the different wives' tales of stuff you hang up to keep away spirits and stuff. I really like it. I think it's so cute and I want it so bad, but I hate everything about it. So there's that. We'll see how that one goes. I'm gonna leave it in stash for a while. I have been UFOing some things, honestly, just because I'm realizing, you know, my friend Cam the Stitcher, she knows that I've wanted a Notion for a long time, but I've got 2 kids and I also work and I'm married and life just kind of is a whirlwind right now, you know, that baby stage with my son, he's 5 months old, my daughter's 6, I signed her up for cheer and, you know, life gets busy. And so I didn't imagine that I could currently make myself a Notion, which is a kind of online digital cross-stitch forum where you're able to make templates, or you can buy a template that's kind of pre-organized for you. You input as a database, essentially. And so Cam watched my whip parade and spent all of that time inputting my projects in, and that was just absolutely amazing. I could not believe that she did that. I'm so blessed to have amazing friends like her. Like, whether you're a believer in anything or not, right? Like, Cam was put in my life for a reason. The girls that I met through cross stitch were put in my life for a reason, and I feel extremely blessed to be able to call them friends. They truly are just people that I will cherish for the rest of my life, and I absolutely adore them. And Cam is just a precious princess baby angel and made me a Notion. So moral of the story is now I have a Notion, and I was going through my Notion looking at all the projects that I have. I'll insert a little overlay of like me scrolling, right? Well, there was just a few projects that I could just tell they're not my style. I was looking at it, and it was stuff that I had started with people, you know, like on a whim, went and kitted up ASAP, didn't even think about, is this my style or do I just want to stitch this, you know? Which there's nothing wrong with just wanting to stitch something, you know what I mean? Like, that's the joy of stitching. Do what you want, stitch what you want, do what makes you happy. It's a hobby, that's what it's for, to bring you joy. But I was looking at it and like aesthetically, I feel like my Notion really makes sense. And there was a few projects that didn't, so I did UFO some things. But anywho, this one, I'm just not sure. Aesthetically, I love it. I want it. I want this image. But if all else fails, I will cut this out and I will frame it. It's not above me. The next thing I worked on, this is actually what I worked on, the first thing I worked on since the last time I filmed. And this was the Hello from Liz Matthews Patreon, Busy Hands Happy. Happy Heart? Yes. I don't know why I forgot that. I just loved this pattern. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the look. I'm just not super happy with my floss choice, but I did decide to go ahead and just push through and keep on stitching on it because, I don't know, you know, if I change my mind and I want to UFO it, I will, but it kind of gives me like, it makes me reminiscent of being a child. The way that it's looking stitched up with this floss, it very much so looks very early 2000s, very puka shell necklace. I don't know how to describe it, but it's very much an aesthetic for my childhood, and I'm enjoying it very much for that sense, the nostalgia, but I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. And I'm okay with that. I know that that's not everyone's like thing, is like knowing they're stitching something they might not finish, but if I don't want it, I have plenty of friends who may be interested in just, you know, adopting a whip for it. So anyways, this is Stained Glass by Color and Cotton, which it really is a beautiful floss. It's just too bright for me personally. This is not really a color that I should have bought 5 skeins of, you know, and I'm not going to use anywhere near all 5 skeins, but I already have a girlfriend, Jess, who likes the color a lot, so I'm going to pass the stash to her once I'm done stitching this, if I ever do stitch it. And here is my progress since last time. Still have my Golden Girls needle minder on here. But I did put in a whole nother flower and I brought this down and I think it looks cute. It's very cute. And I think, again, one of those pieces that in the summer, springtime, it'd be really cute hung up. So I'm really actually enjoying the process of stitching on it. And I feel like that's part of the hobby itself, is just the process. And so I like stitching it because I like seeing how the colors are gonna play out in the flowers. And so I'm having fun and I'm gonna push through and just keep working on this. It's very spring, summer, but that just makes it to where, you know, at least I've made my decision in what I decided to do with it. Here's my back if anyone's curious what my backs look like. But anyway, this one I'm stitching on 40 count Alabaster, which is also called Silvery Moon. It's a Zweigart base, but they changed the name of the color, so just found that out myself. But yeah, I like it together. I think it's really fun actually when it's stitched up. I'm glad I just persisted and like pushed myself to stitch another flower because I do like the way it looks. You know, I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna push through, keep on going, and you know, do my thing. The next project I have, you can tell I did a lot of stitching this past few weeks. This is actually a sal, handmade by Sarah W. Has a birthday sal, and she had picked this pattern, which is Quaint Rose Needle Arts, Anne Hughes 1852 Woodfield House. So here's the pattern. Sorry about the glare. I have two big windows right in front of me, and I like the natural light, but it definitely does make a glare. So I'll probably have to pop the picture of the pattern on the screen if you couldn't see that well enough. And I do have all of the called for. It's like every pair of my scissors is in these bags right now. It's real bad. I did buy the full called for colors because it was such a unique mix that, I don't know, I just decided I loved it enough to do that. So I did go ahead and fully kit it up with the called fors. There's one cottage garden thread, and the rest is Classic Colorworks and Gentle Arts. So just a really pretty mix of greens and blues and pinks, and I love the colors in this. I feel like it's so unique for some reason. I don't know why, I do. And I'm stitching mine on Fox and Rabbit Dirt Track. Yes, 40 count dirt track by Fox and Rabbit. And hopefully I have a picture of where I was last, because it's been so long since I stitched on this, I don't remember what I added. But I do know that I did stitch on it. So yeah, here's my progress. I just think it looks so cute. I don't know, I love all the crowns in it. Like, I didn't notice that when I looked at the pattern itself. I did not notice that at all. But now stitching it, there's so many. So far I've stitched 4, and I know there are more in here. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I completed the bird. I think I might have added to the house. I'm really not sure. And then I did this little motif here, one of the crowns there, the strawberries. It's just so cute and so random, you know? I always wonder like what's going through these people's minds when they're stitching these in the past, you know? Like, sorry, my son is right next to me, so I don't know if you can hear him. But I always wonder, you know, like what made them put the strawberries on top of the roof, and like what made them pick these colors for the bird up here that has this huge thick neck. It's like the funniest looking bird. Honestly, the birds are what caught me on this one. I think they look so funny and just goofy. I had to stitch it. But I'm absolutely loving this. Like, this has made me realize how much I love stitching a brick house. And it was tricky because the bricks were not all even. There's bricks in here that are 1 stitch longer than the other. They're 2 stitches shorter than the other. Like, it'll be completely random in the middle of your stitching, and then all of a sudden you've got 2 bricks that are 2 stitches smaller than the rest. It's so strange, but I just love it. And I love the way it looks overall. Like, it looks really good. It looks uniform. That's what's so strange about it. And then this is the cottage garden thread, which is so amazingly, like, incredibly close to the actual like reproduction piece. It's in the background there. Look at that. Could you get any closer to the floss color? That's insane to me. I mean, all those years in between, and somehow we're still creating the same colored floss. You know, us ladies stitching away are still creating the same colors. I just really enjoyed this one. So if you're interested, again, handmade by Sarah W. She's having a birthday sal for this one. Her birthday is already passed, but I mean, of course, join anytime you want. I don't think she has any hard timelines on it at all, and I'll put the hashtag on the screen, and I'll also link all that stuff down below to like her Instagram post and her Flosstube. The next thing I pulled out, and the last thing I pulled out, I promise, I know I was crazy this week, guys. I was a stitching maniac, one might say. The last thing I pulled out was Summer Quaker. If you follow me on Instagram, then you already saw that I had pulled this girl out. This is actually one of the first, I think this is the first sal I ever participated in. I'd hosted it with Bridget the Museum Stitcher, who is just one of my best G friends. She's been like traveling like a mad woman, and I miss her so very much. So Bridget, if you're watching this, I love you. And I'm stitching mine with all of the called for threads. These are the Valdanis. I just took them off the spools, and this was 2 years ago now, because I've been stitching for 2 years, and you can see these are just paper floss drops that I made. They're just a nice blush pink. I used like some scrapbook paper that I had, and they're still holding up great. Look at them, they look brand new. So it works. I mean, who needs fancy floss drops? These are great. And they look cute. Doesn't the blush pink look real pretty? But anyways, the Valdani flosses, they're great. I was actually talking to Alexis because oddly enough, I pulled this out to work on it and Alexis messaged me and was like, oh my goodness, I'm working on the same project, which is like, what are the chances? You know what I mean? And we were talking about how the flosses are, there's very like ramen noodly, right? These have been on these floss drops for 2 years. I was expecting them to really smooth out by now. And there's just the weight of the thread in general to really kind of pull them. But they're so, Alexis described it best. She was like, don't they feel like there's still dye in the thread? She's spot on. They feel like they were dyed too heavily, and if you washed them, they would get softer. But you can't wash them because I don't think they're color fast. So anyway, they're a little tricky to work with because it is quite thick. Valdani is a 3-strand floss, and in the Summer Quaker here, Rosewood Manor designs this one, by the way. Well, anyways, in this, you use the full 3 strands. So you pull the full 3 strands and you just use it to stitch, which not for everyone. You know what I mean? Like, that's some thick stitching. But you know what? After working on so many projects on like 40 count and 36 count and then even the 14 count, I actually, when I pulled this out, really enjoyed it. So I'm doing all of the called for, including the 28 count truffle fabric by Picture This Plus. Let me see if I can get, no. This is so pink in person. It's the strangest thing that it does not show up pink on camera. It blows my mind. I thought maybe my dress might help, but she didn't help at all. I need to cut down this fabric to cut it to size so that I have the extra, but outside of that, I pulled her out and I did get some stitching in. I don't think I have a picture of where I was last on this, unfortunately, but what I did was there was supposed to be back stitching inside this basket, and I had tried previously to do the back stitching. I just wasn't the biggest fan of it, so I went ahead and just filled it in with X's, and I actually really like it. I did complete the bottom of this pot here, and I did do this complete flower, which tail of woe, guys. Oh my goodness. I don't know what was going on. I was watching Matilda with my daughter, and I think I just got way too into watching Matilda or something. I don't know what took over me, but me and my daughter were just vibing, and I messed up this flower like 6 times in a row. And every time I'd restart, I'd be like, oh, you got it this time, Megan. Lies. You don't, girl. So I don't know why it was so hard for me. It's literally a mirror image of the other side, but I finally got it. And after that, I put it away because I was like, well, you're done. You're done. You're going to timeout. But how beautiful is this? The colors are just absolutely amazing. I think that I thought when I was stitching it that it was just so thick and I didn't enjoy that, but you know what? Pulling it back out, I'm not minding it. On the 28 count Picture This Plus, it is a little tight, especially the areas where you have more dense stitching. But there's not too much dense stitching in this piece overall. Let me show you guys the pattern again. I just feel like they planned it well to where really the only dense areas you have are gonna be like the leaves. And they're not even that bad, you know? So I'm really excited about this one. I think it's real pretty. And the cover photo here is a little bit more true to color. Like when you see it, it's the weird thing is though, it's like an icy pink in the cover photo, and in person it truly is the most beautiful blush pink. It's gorgeous, just gorgeous. You just want to eat it. It literally looks beautiful. So I get why it's called truffle, but yeah, how pretty is that? Isn't it just so summery and fun? And the colors are gorgeous. That's one good thing about the Valdanis is the colors are gorgeous. They look so lush and just fabulous, and I think hung up on the wall, this is going to be so beautiful. I actually do have the Autumn Quaker fully kitted as well. I have the fabric that I want to stitch it on and everything, so I think Alexis and I might be starting that maybe next month, so we'll see. I don't know. Her birthday's coming up, so I'm going to see what she wants to start for her birthday and then maybe plan from there. But anyways, that is the last thing that I stitched on. So it was a heavy stitching week for me, and honestly, I think it's because my husband gifted me a Lowery stand. He knew that I would really wanted one, and I had been like oohing and awing, like, do I want to buy this? It's a big investment, you know, what if I don't like it? What if I don't like two-handed stitching? And he was just like, what's that stand? Randomly one day he just came home and was like, what's that stand that you were looking at? Like, can you send me the link? I'm gonna look at it. And he was looking at it, and he went to the bedroom, and he comes back out, and he's like, maybe 10 minutes later, he's like, I bought you the stand. So he did buy me the Lowery stand with the extender bar and the side clamp. So it's a kit that you can get all together as one from Lindy Stitches. I will link her shop down below. I am really, really satisfied with her shipping and everything. She also included a really cute little cat pattern and some little candies and just like a bunch of little extras, a little thing of lotion and a chapstick. And I really enjoy shopping with her now that I have had the experience to do so. And I absolutely love my stand. It is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I actually know someone who ordered a stand and didn't get the base of the stand, which is obviously not Lindy Stitch's fault at all. It's not Steph's fault. I think it was just something like it wasn't in the box, you know, and that they get shipped to her, I'm sure. But customer service for that was absolutely amazing. Got it taken care of ASAP kind of situation. And so I appreciate shops that are quick and really easy to work with like that. And I do feel like Lindy Stitch's shop is just absolutely phenomenal. She also has this great program. So outside of that for acquisitions, that was just a random, literally like completely random surprise for my husband. But shout out to him because yeah, he knows how much I love stitching and it's such a big part of my life. And my hobbies have changed a lot since we first met almost 9 years ago. But I definitely do just, I don't know, I'm really enjoying it and I appreciate that he like, I don't want to call it enables my hobby, but like, you know, he supports my hobby and I really appreciate that. So yeah, anyways, that was a really nice gift and I really do love it. I highly recommend. It's worth the price. It's worth every penny for sure. I can't say enough good things. It's great. If you guys are interested in like how I stitch or whatever, I can definitely do a separate video on that. Just let me know down below in the comments. But if you're not interested in sticking around for any more of the acquisitions, thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a little, I'm gonna say, leave me a sunshine emoji. I'm feeling very sunshine-esque. I've got my Hawaiian dress on. My auntie bought me this, Auntie Liz. It's my husband's auntie and she's amazing. She doesn't watch my videos either, but I love her so much. So anyways, I feel very sunshine today, you know? I'm feeling it, feeling the island vibes. So leave me a little sunshine emoji or maybe a little palm tree, switch it up, you know? But anyways, the other thing that I have kitted up, I mentioned this last time that I had purchased from Lindy Stitches and I loved that Steph over at Lindy Stitches does this where it's a discount that you get for kitting like an X amount of flosses, you get one for free and it continues, you know, it's not just like, oh, only one for free. No, like you continue to buy the 4 or 5 flosses or whatever and you get the 5th or 6th one free. I can't remember what exactly it is, but I really like that because it saved me so much money. So I did go ahead and kit up this one, which I bought this pattern the end of last month, a few weekends ago when I was at the Threadneedle Street with Michaela of Cinematic Stitches, Thread Gremlins, Beck Stitches Everything, Fiber and Floss Canada. There was a few other ladies. There was Karen and there was Mary, and I just had such a fun time meeting up with them. But this is the pattern that I bought, and I decided with the gift card that I had to go ahead and just kit it up because I wasn't really sure what else to get. I'm a big like sampler. Like I said, I like samplers, I like reproductions, and there wasn't too much stuff like that, but there was a lot of floss and a lot of really good stuff out on her shop. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna kit that up. And so I did. Look at these colors. Gosh, I'm such a mess. I should have organized this a little bit better and put them on a floss drop or something, or not a floss drop, but like on a binder ring. But anyways, it is like 20 flosses. It is all the called for classic colorworks. I was gonna do the DMC, but when I started pulling the DMCs, I personally felt like the conversion was not the best. The purples just didn't look like they did on the cover at all. And that could have been because the cover image was a poor quality. That happens a lot, you know, where it's like, there's obviously been a filter added over this photo, or the lens on the camera itself just disoriented the colors or whatever it may be, but the colors just didn't look right. So I was like, all right, I don't want to do those silks because that's going to cost an arm and a leg, but I would love to do the overdyes. So yeah, I was able to get 20 flosses for less than $50, and that was after shipping. So check out her site, guys. Run, don't walk, because that is, if you're someone who uses overdyed flosses a lot, less than $50 for 20 overdyed flosses, after shipping, I don't know about you, but 1, 2, 3 stitch could never, okay? So for this one, it's stitched on a really plain fabric here. So I'm debating if I'm gonna stitch it on Silvery Moon or Lap and Loops Megan, which love her, obsessed, amazing, fabulous dyer, right? She has a color that I have in stash that's like a mottled pinky brown, and I might stitch on that. I just haven't decided yet, so we'll see. Haven't decided, but that's the other thing that I got as an acquisition. And the last thing I got were some of these little floss card situations. This is not typically what I would put my flosses on, but since I've become more of a kit stitcher and I really have like such a mix of what I like, I decided to go ahead and buy these, and I'm really pleased with the quality. They're not too thick, but not too flimsy. So it's nice for when it's in your project bag, not taking up too much space. There is a pack of 10, and I want to say that this costs less than 10 bucks. I'm pretty sure. I'll link these down below because I do recommend them. And it also, I mean, these are going to really work for me because most of my kits have symbols, and that's the way they discern where, you know, which floss is what. But you also get a huge number of little stickers, little number stickers. And so, I mean, that's pretty cool. I do kind of wish that these were just empty little tiny white circles so that I could draw on them myself, but it's fine. It goes from 1 to 102 twice in a row. So I feel like that was really cool and just a really cool little addition into the product. I mean, I don't know if I'll use them or not, but I imagine that these will come in handy for cross stitching in the future, even just for my regular floss drops. So yeah, I have these now, and I'm gonna pop some of these into my existing kits. If you watched my kit review video, then you'll know that there were a few kits that I really don't like the system they have for the cards, or like some of them have like a bobbin sort of situation. I don't know, you know, very Luca S, Letty Stitch esque, and some of those I'm just not the biggest fan of. So I might swap those over to these, but this was a affordable for me option to kit up or re-kit up some of these projects. Sorry, my son is right next to me. I'm sure you guys can hear his little swing clicking back and forth, but anyways, I'm looking through here. I think that is the last thing I have to talk about today. So I'm actually really glad I was able to get through that so quickly, because I'm sure my daughter is really wanting some lunch right about now. And I like when my videos are a little bit shorter. I know I'm sure you guys don't mind having a longer one, but I really, I don't mind the short ones. So yeah, like I said, if you stuck around to the end, leave me a little sunshine or a palm tree emoji. I would absolutely love that. And let me know too if you are interested in seeing a like full in-depth review on the Lowery stand and just how I stitch on at the stand and everything and how it's working for me. Let me know, and I'll try to get that filmed as well and put that out pretty soon. But I guess in general, let me know if there are just videos that you guys are interested in seeing. I know that I always constantly pretty much, I try to stick to the schedule of every 2 weeks putting out a video, but if there's other things that you want to see, just let me know, and if I have the time, I will film. I really do try to, you know, invest my time into this because it's a really high payoff in the end for me, because I get to know you guys more and I get to talk to more of you, and you know, that is a million times over worth the time investment for me to put into these videos. So I really enjoy talking to you guys and reading your comments and stuff. You can hear Malachi. So anyways, that's all for stitching, but I am going to include a little life update here. And so if you're not interested, thank you so much. I love you guys very, very much, and thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time. But if you are interested in life stuff, then I guess I will update you. My son, Malachi, he's 5 months old now. Can't believe it. Can you guys believe that? He's almost 6 months old. At the end of this month, he'll be 6 months old. How did it go by so fast? I literally don't know. And Amira, at the end of this month, she also goes back to school, which is great. You know, like, she's very excited. So we did go back to school shopping. She got her hair cut for back to school. You guys knew that, though. I mentioned it in a previous Flosstube if you watched to the very end. And so she's really excited. We got her signed up for cheer this year. So this is her first year doing like a group sport kind of event. And so we're going to be very busy. Very busy. We'll have cheer practice, I think, once a week, and then weekends they have a schedule for the flag football games for the little, you know, little other kindergarten, first grade boys. So I'm super excited. She's super excited. We did all the back to school shopping pretty much. We have to get like the supplies, but the supply list for first graders is so small that there's not very much to be added. So I got, you know, got her shoes and her clothes and stuff like that. I still need to make a trip to Nordy's and pick out probably some little Nike sets, which they always have really good deals, by the way. You know, you think Nordstrom and you think like, oh, it's gonna be too outrageous. No, there's some really good deals on some little kids clothes there, and they always have really cute little Nike sets for little girls. And my husband is a bodybuilder. He's a really big guy and he loves Nike, and so they're so cute with their little outfits and the shoes and such. But yeah, they're just they're having fun, having a blast. He took her to Catapult last weekend so that I could have a little bit of a break with the kids and just kind of relax at home just with the baby. That was really fun for her. And yeah, we're just so busy. I cannot believe how quickly the time is flying by. But she's excited. I'm excited. I'm still back at work, you know, in the swing of things. Work's been slowing down a little bit just because back to school season, people tend to not want to buy a car, you know, unless they have to, or like they're buying a car for a kid to go to college kind of thing. But most people do that usually at graduation. So anyways, it's been kind of nice, a little bit more of a break. And yeah, you know, we're just doing our thing. I'm going to grab Malachi right now. Say like and subscribe. Free hugs for everyone. Hello. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around and just being part of my life. I don't know. I'm feeling very, very blessed, very grateful. All right, everyone. I will catch you in 2 weeks. I love you so much. Bye.